The cost of living with special needs has steadily risen past $2.5 million during a lifetime. So many with disabilities need to focus on themselves to live a normal life. Enter Casey, an Omaha native with Down syndrome and a passion for giving back to others in the Omaha community. We bring you her story. Good afternoon, I'm Zach Miller.
And I'm Mallory Bart. Coming up next, we discuss the food desert that could be driving residents out of downtown.
All this and more right here on the Omaha News.
From the studios of UNO Television, this is the Omaha News, presented by UNO School of Communication.
One in every 700 babies is born with Down syndrome. Omaha News reporter Danielle Meadows shares the story of Casey Haynes, a woman with Down syndrome who's living independently and giving back to the community.
Casey Haynes has an extra chromosome and a big heart.
I like, hanging out with my roommates, playing games and just spending, a quality time with them.
Down syndrome is the most common chromosomal disorder in the U.S., but it doesn't hold Casey back from living an independent life. She works and shares a house with 3 girls and is even training for a 5K marathon.
The other day I came in and she was on the treadmill, literally jogging on the treadmill, which if you would have gone back 3-4 years ago, it would have been a very slow pace on a treadmill.
Crossroads of Western Iowa staff, Denise Crittenbrink, helps Casey and her roommates set goals and work to achieve them.
There are people just like everybody else. Everybody has a heart, a soul. She just does amazing.
Casey participates in various events throughout the year, from talent shows to the Special Olympics.
We do service projects. We do the spaghetti dinner. We do pancake feeds.
Casey is the first vice president of Action Club, serving her community and encouraging others to do the same.
People who are out there don't have homes. I'm one of those people who wants to help.
In the future, Crittenbrink has no doubt that Casey will do great things.
I see her living in her own apartment, evolving more and more and more as a person.
For the Omaha News, I'm Danielle Meadows.
Crossroads of Western Iowa helps Casey and her roommates strive by setting them up with jobs, housing, and other opportunities to promote independent living.
The head of the Nebraska Democratic Party has called on the candidate for the Attorney General to drop out of the race after he was accused of an attack on his elderly father. Van R. Graykiss is running as a Democratic candidate against Republican incumbent Attorney General Doug Peterson. Authorities have charged R. Graykiss with strangulation of his 82-year-old father after a violent disagreement in their kitchen that caused his father to go to a neighbor for help. If convicted of the felony charge, he would not be able to hold office as Attorney General. Nebraska Democratic Party Chairwoman Jane Klebe stated that the party has removed R. Graykiss from its website and will not be spending any resources on his campaign.
The United States Department of Agriculture defines a food desert as an area that lacks fresh fruit, vegetables, and other healthful whole foods. Food deserts are usually found in impoverished areas, but are also often caused by a lack of grocery stores, farmers markets, and healthy food providers. The premier destination for groceries in the early 1920s.
Downtown, the only place that really has fresh produce at all is the Supermercado at 30th and Leavenworth.
A lack of grocery stores in the downtown area creates a problem. Instead of grocery stores with fresh fruits and vegetables, food deserts are commonly saturated with convenience stores and fast food restaurants.
Other than that, there's the Cubbies down there, but they only have a deli. They don't really have fresh produce at all.
The USDA created a map of the United States food deserts, which are commonly found in low-access and low-income communities.
There was a grocery store right on Cummings Street. It was family fare, and it's not the best quality grocery store.
Let's imagine you live on 10th and Douglas in downtown Omaha. Where is the closest grocery store that you can walk to? Well, you can try Cubby's on 13th and Jackson, which is half a mile away. But what if you're looking for a traditional, full-service grocery store? Your next closest option is a Supermercado on 29th and Leavenworth, which was formerly a Hinky Dinky. There is hope for downtown Omaha residents who are looking for a closer grocery store. Omaha Mayor Gene Stothert hopes to redevelop the area on 18th and Capitol where the Civic Auditorium used to be. In an Omaha World Herald article, Stothert said that the area could be redeveloped as mixed-use retail or a major office tenant, or something completely different, depending on what their developing market study shows. A full-size grocery store in downtown Omaha could help residents choose healthier options if it's more convenient to visit.
White House officials confirmed that CIA Director Mike Pompeo recently met with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un in preparation for a potential summit between Trump and Kim. Trump also confirmed that North and South Korea are working together to negotiate an end to hostilities before next week's meeting between Kim and South Korean President Jae-in. The president stated that the two nations had his blessings to discuss an end to the war. The meeting will be the third inter-Korean summit since the Korea's division in 1945.
When we come back, we'll be talking about what community issues locals want representatives to focus on for the primary elections.
And next, we'll show you how Omaha natives are preparing for potential natural disasters.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Stand by to come out to the open in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fade up, press 1 time.
We walk in straight lines, carved into stony paths, colder than ice baths and just as suffocating. Our breaths are just undulating to the beat of car horns and ticking, ticking time. Separated in forests of chopped, sanded, paint-dripping trees marked with rosewood X's. I've left enough houses to know these were never our homes, but the memories nurse us until our minds fade away just as scars on our skin.
You've always known you were a leader, someone who works hard to achieve your goals. You can see it. You can see your success in front of you. You pursue a college education for the old-fashioned reasons, to learn, to make yourself more valuable, to succeed. You need a place that celebrates your ambition and positions you alongside visionary people just like you. You, my friend, belong here, the University of Nebraska at Omaha.
This is the Omaha News.
Primary elections begin May 15th. Stephanie Zambrano reports on the change communities are asking for from their local representatives.
Week here at UNO's campus and possibly at your door, you will hear someone say,
Remember to vote, okay? Do you know who your state legislators are?
Take note because the primary elections are taking place this May 15th.
Politics might seem really far removed from everything, but for students, a lot of things can be much more immediate.
I feel like our younger generation, our generation, there's a lot of pessimism.
As students and community members talk about issues they care about, they also give advice to local representatives on how they can communicate better with the neighborhoods they are going to be representing if elected.
I know some people can find it kind of annoying or inconvenient to come knocking to your house, and it kind of feels a little bit pushy, a little bit maybe intrusive.
I noticed that in these impoverished areas, there's people who basically they can't communicate because of different languages, different culture.
As the weather gets nicer outside, local representatives will be knocking on more doors. Chicas explains her own experiences with a local representative who reached out to her community.
I know South Omaha is diverse, and something that she was running for. She was saying that she was in support of DACA, so maybe seeing that the household was Hispanic, she decided to talk about that.
They leave local representatives with one last message.
Putting their campaign out there on social media, making it more engaging, talking about matters that maybe younger people care about.
Sounds cliche, but we are the future.
For the Omaha News, I'm Stephanie Zambrano.
The last day to register outside the Election Commission's office for the primary elections is April 30th.
Former First Lady Barbara Bush has passed away at the age of 92. Bush was one of two First Ladies who had a husband and child both elected president. The Bushes, who were married in January of 1945, had the longest marriage of any presidential couple in American history. Barbara Bush declined last Sunday to seek further medical treatment for her declining heart health, instead opting for comfort care at her home in Houston. The governors of Nebraska and Iowa have ordered that state flags be flown at half-staff in honor of the former First Lady until sunset on Saturday, when Bush will be buried.
The arrival of spring means potential for tornadoes, severe thunderstorms, and other natural disasters in the Omaha area. Reporter Justin Doring spent the day with community emergency response teams as they teach volunteers how to brace for dangerous weather.
Community emergency response team students learn duty to recognize severe weather and mitigate its problems.
Last June, as many people are aware, we had a tornado incident that came through the southern portion of Bellevue. We set up, at the request of Sarpy County Emergency Management, we set up a volunteer processing point to give some assurance to the residents that the help was there and they were good, honest, hardworking people.
CERT students come from Sarpy, Douglas, and Washington counties to train in Bellevue.
Well, it's a great opportunity to learn a little bit about emergency response, turning off utilities, or fighting a controllable fire that could be treated with a fire extinguisher.
Emergencies can happen at any time, and being prepared is key to keeping your family safe. Training such as this will enable you to plan for power outages, natural disasters, or even terrorist attacks.
The class is designed to teach how to take care of themselves in the case of an emergency. When the emergency responders, the first responders, the police, the fire, the EMS folks, will be hours, if not days, from arriving to assist. Where else can you have a weather forecast that mentions severe weather, possibility of tornadoes, and blizzards all in one forecast? And the fellow that I watched had it all in one sentence.
For the Omaha News, I'm Justin Doring.
Potential volunteers must be at least 19 years old and must successfully complete an online training course on the FEMA website before registering for CERT training.
Americans are getting an extra day to file their taxes after key elements of the IRS website crashed on deadline day. The IRS said that individuals or businesses with a filing or payment due Tuesday now have until midnight on Wednesday to complete the task. The website went down yesterday after what the company later described as a high-volume technical issue. Electronic filing is the most popular way to file in the United States. No additional paperwork is needed to get the one-day extension. The agency did not say how many people were affected by the outage. However, last year about 5 million tax returns were filed on the final day of the tax season.
When we come back, law schools. They're tough to get into and they're tough to graduate from. And it can be even harder if you're the only minority in your class.
And we'll introduce you to a woman living her dream and the difficult road she had to travel to get there. You're watching the Omaha News. We are independent thinkers, explorers, risk takers. We are willing to go against the grain, ask the hard questions, and look at challenges in a different way. We collaborate, we serve, we represent, we grow. We are doing things that people said would never happen. We are loud, we are proud, we are Mavericks.
Filmstreams is a nonprofit organization dedicated to the presentation and discussion of film as an art form. By showing films from different countries, probably something a lot of people don't get to expose to very often, but that's something we can do here in the theater. We are in the middle of an extraordinary period of growth. We were gifted the Dundee Theater on 50th and Dodge. That does mean expanding to a second location, of course. We depend on our volunteers to help us make the theater run. Volunteers do everything from helping us up in the office. They could help us run materials around town, like marketing materials, posters and things like that. The biggest thing is ticket taking. If anybody is interested in volunteer opportunities in the arts, no matter what your age, it's a great opportunity. It's a happy place, it's an exciting place, and you're a part of a community.
At the Gateway, you get to cover stories that you're interested in. I expressed my interest in covering baseball, so they granted me the head contributor job. I get to go attend the games, take notes, and even do post-game interviews. I got to interview Peyton Kinney, who's the UNO baseball player who threw the second no-hitter ever in Mavericks history, and I got to share that story with him, which was really cool. The first time I saw my story on the cover of the Gateway, I was in shock. Hi, my name's Mitchell Linneman, and I am a contributor for the Gateway newspaper.
Your bag. It's your friend. It's family. Its contents are immeasurable. It goes with you everywhere. It is there for you. Dependable, trusted. Through day-to-day and adventure. Like your bag, the University of Nebraska at Omaha always has your back.
This is the Omaha News.
Since 2000, first-year minority law student enrollment has been increasing nationwide. Reporter Julie Trin breaks down the numbers on how diversity has a presence in the classrooms.
Nationwide in 2000, 21% of first-year law students were minorities. In 2010, that increased to 25%. As of last fall in 2017, there was a jump to 32%.
It's really important that a variety of perspectives are represented in the law.
In 2017, Creighton University School of Law's diversity rate for the entering class was 23%, while Nebraska's College of Law was 7%. These statistics are not encouraging for students like Nagina Ramanzai, who's looking for a law school that will give her a sense of community.
Growing up in Nebraska, predominantly white, predominantly Catholic, I always stuck out.
Nagina's goals of becoming an immigration lawyer was in result of her family moving to the United States in the 1980s from Afghanistan.
They came over here, and if it wasn't for the immigration lawyers that helped them out, they would never have the opportunities that I have and that my siblings have.
Nagina will be attending City University of New York in the fall for law school. CUNY has a diversity rate of 48%. Nebraska's College of Law hosts a Diversity Law Day every year to increase potential students.
To feel comfortable and to feel like they have a place here and a good supportive community so that they can be effective in the legal world and in making change.
For the Omaha News, I'm Julie Trin.
Diversity Law Day is an opportunity for high school and college students who may not have been exposed to law school or the legal profession to get an inside look on what it takes to be a lawyer.
Starbucks is moving to confront a racially charged uproar over the arrest of 2 black men at one of its stores in Philadelphia. After its CEO met to personally apologize to the men, the company plans to close more than 8,000 U.S. stores for several hours next month to conduct racial bias training for nearly 175,000 workers. The announcement comes after a video showing police handcuffing 2 black men sitting at a table while customers protested, saying they did nothing wrong. Philadelphia police released the call from the Starbucks employee that said that the men were refusing to make a purchase or leave, citing them as causing a disturbance. It was later revealed that the 2 men were just waiting for a friend at the coffee shop.
According to Bloomberg, 8 out of 10 entrepreneurs who start businesses fail within the first 18 months. Zachariah Blackburn shows us how the owner of an Omaha bakery never gave up and continues to inspire local entrepreneurs.
Michelle Kaiser runs this classic family bakery, her outlet to share her story and her passion.
If I can take these things that come in and I can have my eyes open, then I can share with others and give them that faith and that inspiration.
Kaiser is hosting small group speaking demonstrations at the bakery, like this one, where she, or more like her niece, bakes brownies.
I actually just pulled her on this job like that. Really?
I was walking down the hall.
The bakery has 2 employees that are related to Kaiser, Kaiser's son and her niece, Ashton Stewart, who has been working here for just 2 weeks, and who places an emphasis on faith and values in the workplace.
Just what my managers and owners stand for is very important to me and what our morals are, and obviously her being my aunt, we have the same morals, so that's really cool.
The Omaha Bakery has been serving up treats here on 72nd Street for nearly 2 years. Formerly located in Fremont, the road to this location was a tough one, both financially and personally for Kaiser.
7.5 years without a paycheck. So I've lived with nothing. I know what that's like.
When the bakery was in Fremont, Kaiser lived in Blair. Unable to afford gas or the time, Kaiser made sacrifices for her business.
I would stay overnight during the week at this bakery, not able to see my kids or my husband.
She didn't give up, so she's a person who inspires just because we may have gone through less than she has and given up.
For the Omaha News, I'm Zachariah Blackburn.
Today, Kaiser and the Omaha Bakery are doing well, with Kaiser even making a contestant appearance on the Food Network show Spring Baking Championship in its 4th season. Kaiser hopes to do more speaking engagements and television appearances in the future.
A prisoner in Iceland suspected of masterminding the theft of about 600 computers that were being used to mine Bitcoin and other virtual currencies has escaped custody and fled on a passenger plane that a witness said also carried the nation's prime minister. Police surveillance footage showed Sindri Stephenson boarding a plane to Sweden at Iceland's international airport. They said he traveled under a passport in someone else's name, and it's highly likely he has an accomplice. Stephenson was not reported missing until after the flight had already taken off, and the stolen equipment, which is still missing, has been valued at about $2 million. Owners of the stolen computers have promised a $60,000 reward for their return.
When the Omaha News continues, an Omaha woman who has overcome some difficult times in her life has started a ministry to help others. We'll tell you her story and her mission.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Constant communication between the professors and the students. You can always get a hold of them. They're really responsive and they try to make it all personal.
It always felt like they were not only challenging you, but also supporting you all at the same time.
The fact that you could always, come to them as a student, but almost as an equal.
We are very, very lucky to have them. They're experts in all of their fields, and you know it just by talking to them.
Each YMCA branch holds their own campaign to offer financial assistance to families in need. We see families come in every day that aren't able to afford our memberships. By being able to provide that financial assistance, we're giving children and families the opportunity to have a place to come. I'm so proud to say that at the YMCA, 100% of what we raise stays at this YMCA and goes towards that financial assistance. Being able to work where I'm able to make a difference is really important, and it's cool to see that every day.
Fade up one like a cue.
A pilot from Southwest Airlines who made an emergency landing Tuesday after the jet apparently blew an engine is being praised for her nerves of steel in helping to prevent a far worse tragedy after the catastrophe killed 1 passenger and left 7 others hurt. Tammy Jo Schultz was among the first female fighter pilots in the U.S. military, according to friends and the alumni group at Schultz's alma mater. Passengers said she walked through the aisle and talked with them to make sure they were okay after the plane touched down. The National Transportation Safety Board said it was the first passenger fatality in an accident involving a U.S. airline since 2009.
A local ministry is pushing to make initiatives to help women recover from abuse and eventually hopes to find job placement for its members. As Gonzalo Avalos reports, this nonprofit is helping women recover from their past.
I Am Every Woman Ministries is a non-profit organization that focuses on sisterhood by helping women from all walks of life and nationalities.
I reach out to every sister
and we are helpers one to another.
This nonprofit was founded on November 1st, 2015, through the Ministry of Missionary Evangelist Valerie Likely. Through her organization, she plans to help, teach, motivate, and uplift women in every way possible, and also makes it clear that it is not a man-bashing organization.
It's all about understanding who you are. It's all about learning what you're capable of doing, what is possible for you to do, and about getting it done.
In the beginning, their meetings had no designated location and met at different places, until they were welcomed at the Milton R. Abraham Branch Library and started meeting 2 Saturdays a month.
That got taken from us. You're not paying for it, so you can't argue.
Once they are able to locate a building and have their own space, the plan is to go beyond just meetings and also help out the less fortunate with food, shelter, and
clothing. And clothing not just only for ladies, but for the children.
But it's mostly dollars, that's why you say won't complain.
Creating a sisterhood that will help every woman reach their true potential keeps her going. For the Omaha News, I'm Gonzalo Avalos.
Mostly they were good.
I Am Every Woman Ministries plans to hold meetings at Holy Ghost Temple Church in Council Bluffs in the coming months.
Viral photos of tumbleweed piles towering houses and overtaking streets in Victorville, California arose today. Although tumbleweeds are common in the high desert community, residents say this is one of the worst invasions they have seen yet. Residents referred to the scene as horror movie-like, with tumbleweeds trapping several residents in their homes and swamping yards. The National Weather Service had issued a high wind warning for the region and later reported that wind gusts reached up to 70 miles per hour. The community is preparing to experience another bout of high winds in the area later this week.
A woman accused of shaking her 5-month-old daughter, who later died, will stand trial. Ashley Newbern, age 28, faces up to life in prison if convicted of child abuse resulting in death. Her defense attorney argued Wednesday that 2 other adults, including Newbern's boyfriend, were in the apartment when the baby lost consciousness. Newbern discovered that the child was not breathing when her face started turning purple during a nap. The baby died at a hospital 2 days later from what doctors say was physical abuse from jarring or shaking movement. Newbern is being held in jail on a $100,000 bail.
That's all for the Omaha News for today and for this season.
We want to thank you for joining us this year, and we look forward to seeing you all in the fall.
From all of us here at the Omaha News, good night.
The hall is just a place for anybody who's interested in, music, sports, news, radio.
It's a Rebel G production.
Mav Radio is my platform to show my ability and my skills, and also be able to reach out and meet other people and network. So Mav Radio means everything to me because it is me. My name is D.K. Kellum. I'm the music director, and welcome to Mav Radio.
Heartland Pride is an organization that promotes and celebrates diversity within the Omaha metro area. We host the annual Pride Festival, we host the parade, and we do host other events. Individual joins Heartland Pride, I think what they gain is a broader ideal of not only themselves but the community as a whole. In order to see a change in the community that I live in every day, I need to be that change.
You've always known you were a leader. Someone who works hard to achieve your goals. You can see it. You can see your success in front of you. You pursue a college education for the old-fashioned reasons. To learn, to make yourself more valuable, to succeed. You need a place that celebrates your ambition and positions you alongside visionary people just like you. You, my friend, belong here, the University of Nebraska at Omaha.
Girls Inc. is a place open to all girls from all walks of life. Girls Inc. helps inspire our girls to be strong, smart, and bold in the community. Volunteers can come in and just work with our girls. We have a lot of our programs that require supplies. Pens and pencils, to STEM kits, to sports supplies, office supplies. We know that when you educate girls, you better your community.